Hey guys, we have some energy this weekend that is very much comprised of the Mercury-Saturn vibes. First of all, both of these planets are going to be stationing in their motion this weekend. Saturn stationing to go retrograde, Mercury stationing to go direct, and simultaneously, they're also both in a square to each other in the sky. So, extra significant emphasis, big time, like hardcore emphasis going on Saturn and Mercury via their position, their aspect, their motion, and on Sunday we're also going to have a Leo moon coming into the equation that is actually going to oppose Saturn, square Mercury, set up a T-square with these two planets being the features as well. So lots of Saturn, Mercury energy to talk about in our report for the weekend, you guys. Let's get into it and see how this is breaking down for us. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today is Friday, June 3rd, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook for the weekend. Lots of Saturn, Mercury energy going on. Like I said, let's start with Friday, then we'll talk about Saturday, and then we'll talk about Sunday. But we're going to start, of course, with Friday, and that is the 3rd. And on Friday, this is the day where we have Mercury stationing to go direct. Now, Mercury is not actually technically moving forward yet. I believe Mercury won't start actually progressing forward again until Sunday. But this is the day that Mercury is stationing, really stopped in the sky to go direct. And this is happening at 27 degrees of Taurus, which is where Mercury has been for quite a while. The past couple days sort of hold out at this degree. And that degree, 27 Taurus, is an old Indian woman selling beads and trinkets in terms of the Sabian symbol for that degree. And so with Mercury stationing direct at this degree and having been at this degree, I've been feeling like this is actually trying to tell us that, this retrograde process has actually been trying to help us come to a better understanding of the resources and the creative potential and the talent that we hold within us, and how perhaps going forward, when Mercury starts moving back through Taurus and into Gemini and throughout the rest of the course of this year, we can really begin to sort of like tap into this potential and use it to create something physical, tangible, manifest in the world that we can use to actually provide some type of financial or material stability or success or abundance for us somehow in some way or another. Restoration of value was sort of how I was perceiving this Gemini backing into Taurus Mercury retrograde process that we are coming out of now. And then with Mercury having stationed at this degree specifically as well, which is talking about being able to, an old Indian woman selling beads and trinkets. When I think of this degree, I generally think of, these being something, these beads and trinkets are things that she has probably created with her own two hands, based on her knowledge and her ability and her talent to do so. And then she's selling them. She's sitting there and she's selling them so that she can get some material, financial, or just like physical, energetic reciprocation for that, I guess you could say. And so I feel like, especially with it being the sign of Taurus and this Mercury having retrograded out of Gemini, his home sign, into Taurus, this evaluation of our own inner value, with the retrograde process also resonating to more inward processes of things as well. I feel like that is sort of what the message has been for us overall in terms of our experience as well. Maybe a lot of things showing us the truth of the value that we hold inside and what we can maybe do with that, bringing back some ideas, having us reevaluate, our strengths and our talents at this period of time. So that's sort of how I'm feeling about Mercury stationing at this specific degree. And, when Mercury stations direct, especially while we're in a Gemini season as we are right now, which Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, usually this would really sort of speed things up and get things moving forward, like speed up progress, basically, in one way or another. But because of the fact that Saturn and Mercury are both stationing in a square to each other, this Mercury station direct is happening in almost an exact square to Saturn, 1 degree orb off of Saturn in Aquarius. In this energy, Mercury and square to Saturn, I've been talking about this aspect because it's been present for a while now. And Saturn is the ruler of time, the lord of time, the lord of karma as well, and has a tendency to really like slow things down and sort of put a lid on things and restrict things and limit them and hold them back. And with Mercury stationing to go, and it's also in the sign of Taurus, which is a fixed sign. It's also a bit of a slower moving sign. And with Mercury stationing to go direct in the sign of Taurus, we actually also have Venus today on Friday when Mercury stations direct at 8 degrees of Taurus, her home sign. And, you know, Venus is kind of important in this scenario as well because this is happening in the sign of Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. This in 8 Taurus, that Sabian symbol where she is for Mercury going direct is a sleigh without snow. So this is also talking about, you know, a lack of forward progress. So even though we have Mercury stationing direct today and things should be clearing up a little bit, like we should feel like we're ready to move forward in some type of way, like we're understanding things a little better, like we're just seeing things more clearly, or things are coming together, or things are starting to make more sense or in one way or another, there is still this limitation to progress or limitation to expression or limitation to forward movement. Mercury is also a planet representing like speed and forward movement because it's the fastest moving of the planets other than the moon. And, you know, with Venus, the ruler of the position of Mercury right now, a sleigh without snow, and in the square to Saturn, while Saturn's also stationing direct, I really don't think that it's going to be until Mercury re-enters Gemini, which is actually going to be happening on June 13th. That is when I feel like we will start to feel Mercury going direct in a more like tangible, palpable way when Mercury re-enters the sign of Gemini. But up until then, because of these aspects, because of this placement, because of the position of Venus on the day that Mercury stations as well, we just may be lacking, there may be something prohibiting or hindering us from really starting to move forward and make these decisions and go in this new direction and, you know, come to this final clear understanding of things in one way or another. So we have that as well. Now let's again talk about Mercury square Saturn and what this might be bringing in this energy. And, you know, over this next period of time, while Mercury finishes his transit through Taurus and enters Gemini, which Mercury is actually going to be entering Gemini the day before the full moon in Gemini and Sagittarius. And, you know, that's going to be a very fiery full moon as well. So I do feel like it's going to be about mid-June, June 13th, June 14th, before we really start to feel the outcome of Mercury's direct motion. But we're dealing with it today, but in the square to Saturn, this again could bring limitations on our ability to speak our mind or express our ideas. We could definitely be dealing with some frustrations in terms of these facets or ways of life on personal expression or being able to just get our ideas out. This could also be bringing some difficult news or conversations. Mercury right now is also in the sky, conjuncting a rather difficult fixed star called Algol that can a lot of times rule like just not the most positive things. And so with Mercury next to this fixed star as well, it can have a tendency, and with Saturn, this is also difficulty and hard stuff. Like we could be getting some like just difficult news or information that's sort of hard for us to process in this energy as well. This could also bring some more like harsh or critical or judgmental words or comments, like feedback that we might be getting could be coming up in this. And it could also be provoking some type of sense or need that we feel internally to like control or hold back our own thoughts, or to hold our speech back, or to like hold ourselves back from really speaking what's going on inside of us or what our true thoughts are at this point in time. Like we may feel like they're just not going to be received well, or it could be like detrimental to our process in one way or another. And we may also be struggling with a need to sort of suppress our mind or our thoughts or our words for some reason in this energy as well. This can also be bringing up conflict, debate, and argument, perhaps like in regards to authority figures for sure, or like rules, regulations, stuff like that, ruled by Saturn. And it can also bring like traffic jams, delays, slow moving progress generally. Again, and this is also Mercury stationing direct. Normally I wouldn't be saying these things along Mercury stationing direct, because normally it would be representing essentially like the opposite of these things that I'm needing to say today. But because of the Saturn involvement, and specifically the square, you guys, this is not a trine, this is not a sextile, this is not even an opposition, this is a square, which have a tendency to bring the most sense of like frustration and conflict. But ultimately it's for the purpose of helping us to grow and break through in one way or another. Like there is a reason why this is happening, and we're supposed to be definitely like gaining mental control over our thoughts, self-discipline, patience in this energy, and just like really refining our ideas and our viewpoint. Universe does not want us rushing forward unprepared in any type of a way for the path that we are taking now and the changes that we are making now. Saturn retrograde, which I will get into talking about as well as we get into the energy for Saturday when Saturn is stationing retrograde, is also very much about, you know, in the square to Mercury, having to make some very like karmic choices or decisions based on what we've learned and how we've done essentially in our lesson plan at this period of time that could have like a long lasting impact or could carry us like a lot of years into the future. These are some like very serious decisions and choices and like based on options that we may be presented with at this point in time and choosing the direction that we want to go in. And it's like some serious stuff, you guys. It could have like very long-term lasting results. And so universe wants to make sure that we are learning the lesson, that we are doing it right, that we are not just you know, going with whatever fleeting thought that we have in a momentary part of our process, and that we're really like learning this control over our own thoughts as a part of this process of self-mastery that we are involved in growing into at this point in time, in this year that is comprised of this hero's journey and this transmuting of our states of victimhood into ultimately states of self-mastery and alchemizing this energy within us and, you know, going on this journey into the age of Aquarius, this paradigm shift that we are headed towards right now. All of this very like controlled mental process energy is a very integral part of that transition actually. And so we're getting a very strong dose of it right now. And again, like I could be bringing up all of these things that don't sound very Mercury direct-ish, but it's just part of what we have when we have Saturn in square and also about to go retrograde. Let's talk about the moon aspects that we have going on alongside Mercury stationing on Friday. First of all, we are in black moon energy again to start the day today. The first 3 days, this month is a very black moon dominant month. We start the month June 1st, we had the black moon in exact conjunction to the moon, and we end this month on June 30th with the sun in an exact conjunction to the black moon. So these shadow side issues are things that we are navigating and learning to alchemize, transmute, transcend, and overcome all month long, but we do start the day again on Friday in this black moon energy still. We also have a grand trine in water signs that is going on to start the day on Friday because the moon will be in Cancer. That's why we're in black moon energy, because the black moon is also in Cancer, and whenever the moon is transiting the sign where the black moon is or the sign opposing the black moon, that is when we have our black moon days, and black moon energy is triggered by the activation of our emotional body in either an alignment or a reflection with the black moon energy itself. So that is what is bringing us our black moon day, the fact that we have a moon in Cancer. And with that moon in Cancer, it's also, like I said, going to be forming a loose grand trine to the south node of the moon in Scorpio, what we are releasing, walking away from, moving on from, growing out of, letting go of right now, and also representing the past and karma as well, and anything that we've been attached to, and also Neptune in Pisces, very strong, representing our spiritual connection and our ability to merge with spirit and really gain some profound spiritual insight and divine inspiration, but also, you know, a tendency to want to evade reality and to sort of escape things. So with these three planets in the moon, our emotions in Cancer, and Scorpio South Node, Neptune, Pisces, Grand Trine forming today, because we have Neptune at 26 Pisces, we have the South Node at 22 Scorpio, and then we're going to have the moon, you know, in that range today too. So this is not exact, but it's going to be making those connections. We could be like fantasizing about something that we've actually like left behind, or like something from the past, idealizing the past. We could also be sort of fantasizing about things that we want to release ourselves from, or that we want to move away from, or this could also have us sort of like really desiring to avoid and escape difficult situations from the past, or things that we know that we need to move on from, just because it's not very comfortable to us inside, and it could really be triggering our fears and insecurities with that moon, black moon, Cancer energy as well. This is like, you know, the Neptune, either like fantasizing and like being like divinely inspired in one way, or avoiding and escaping the things of the past, the attachments of the past, what we need to let go and move on from. So like on one hand, on either way, to start the day today, while we have that moon still in Cancer, it's probably still going to be bringing up these more feelings of like insecurity and lack of support and stuff like that. But on one hand, like I said, we could be like fantasizing about things that we do want to move away from and do want to release ourselves from, and like what could come of that and all the potentials of the future, and feeling like inspired. Or we could also be feeling like we really want to avoid having to take any action that could separate us from the things from the past and move us in a new direction in some type of a way. Or again, idealizing the past basically, but that's kind of the same thing. So those are sort of vibes that could be coming through in terms of this trine that we have playing out. And then right before the moon leaves Cancer and moves into Leo, which will be happening later in the day, more towards the evening on Friday, we are going to have the moon making an opposition to Pluto in Capricorn as well. And this could also be bringing some really intense and powerful and transformative feelings and emotions going on. And then when we consider these moon aspects, this moon in Cancer with the black moon making the trine with Neptune in the south node and the opposition to Pluto, and then we also bring into it this Mercury stationing direct in the square to Saturn, we may be struggling to keep from speaking some deep, intense, powerful emotions that may feel like they're like overtaking us in one way or another today. And again, we may really need to practice some mental control and really hold ourselves back perhaps from some really could be really like powerful and intense emotional displays that may not necessarily be in our best interest. Could be really trying to come out in this energy, intense and powerful emotions about things from the past as well. And we just really want to be sure with this Mercury Saturn that we are not misinterpreting things and getting very upset about things that we're misunderstanding or things that we're not still, seeing clearly. Remember, Mercury's just stationed. He's not like fully moving forward yet. And I don't think it's going to be until he actually re-enters Gemini, that he really does start, like that we really do start gaining this like better, clear head and understanding and perspective about things. So just keep that in mind today as well, you guys. And Mercury square Saturn, this can also be a more pessimistic and depressing like mental attitude and outlook of reality. So there could be something sort of like pulling us down today, but again, it really is like Saturn ruling responsibility and growth and lessons and maturity. Like we really do need to try our best to sort of pull ourselves out of any darker, deeper, more toxic emotions that may surface today through exercising some type of control over our own thoughts and sort of like talking ourselves down. And, trying to keep like a rational like head and mind about stuff with these moon aspects could be helpful. There's also a very, very strong psychic component to the energy that we have going on today with this Cancer moon making the aspects to the water signs and opposing Pluto in the sign of Capricorn as well. Our feelings and our thoughts may be conveying more than we realize in the energy today as well. Like, we may not even be saying what's on our mind, but people may be picking it up. We also have the sun at 14 degrees of Gemini on Friday. And that Sabian symbol is bridging physical space and social distinctions. Two men communicate telepathically. So we may just be giving off some vibes today, you guys. Like, again, this is a very strong psychic energy, and the position of the sun today is specifically talking about telepathic communication. Like, even without actually saying it, we may sort of be saying or conveying a lot through just the energy that we are giving off, or through some dimension of telepathic communication that might be stronger in the vibrations and the frequencies today, especially also with Mercury stationing to go direct. Mercury would rule telepathic communication. And also we have Pluto at 29 degrees of Capricorn. Still, that Sabian symbol is a woman reading tea leaves. And so with all the psychic energy today, as well as very spiritually connected energy, we should pay attention to any intuition, intuitive urges, intuitive hunches, divine guidance that comes through today, signs, synchronicities. Very good day to connect to spirit and to sort of surrender our burdens to the divine and just like ask for guidance and the weight to be lifted, this heavy Saturn energy, and sort of maneuver it that way. I surrender my burdens to the Christ within and I go free. That is a mantra that I like to go with sometimes when I'm dealing with energy that is feeling like this energy is sort of presenting. So that's what I have to say for the energy for Friday, you guys. Now let's talk about Saturday. We have Saturn, as I mentioned, stationing to go retrograde, not officially going retrograde, but stationing to go retrograde, sort of coming to like a halt in the sky on Saturday. Saturn, perfect day for it, you know, because Saturday, this is the day that is ruled by Saturn. And so Saturn is a very strong Saturnian day that we have going on for this Saturday. I guess we could put it like that. Saturn retrograde, you guys, reevaluating our work, our progress, our lessons, and our goals at this point in time based on everything that we've put in since the last Saturn retrograde, essentially. What have we learned? What have we built? What is the state of things for us now? And is this what we want to continue to, is this how we want to continue to use our focused energy in terms of what we're building, what we're forming, what we're structuring going forward into the future? We have Saturn stationing retrograde at 26 degrees of Aquarius, you guys. That Sabian symbol is a garage man testing a car's battery with a hydrometer. And so this is specifically talking about it, like testing our energy, testing our motivation, our resolve, our dedication to moving forward. It's a car's battery. What do cars do? Cars get us to our destination and take us to where we want to go. Saturn is the garage man right now, testing our battery, testing our life force, testing our, our motivation and our, like I said, our dedication and our resolve to moving forward, to heading towards this new destination, to going in this new direction, to like getting back on course and moving forward in one way or another. Interesting degree where this is happening. So, I feel, and Saturn also rules tests and judgment, and this is like a karmic reckoning. That's what happens during Saturn retrogrades. This is a period of time where the hard work and the diligent effort, the focused effort can really pay off, and we're reaping what we've sown. We're getting what we've put in, essentially, when we have a Saturn retrograde happening. This is a 4.5 month-ish process. October 23rd, I believe, is when Saturn will be stationing direct. And by that point in time, we will really know the direction that we want to take things. And right now, though, what we're coming into right now is essentially, it's like a status check, just like the position of the degree, checking the battery, testing, like seeing if we're happy with where we're at now based on the work that we put in, the progress we've made, and what adjustments need to be made to the things that we want to stabilize, structure, the foundations that we are laying, and also like the boundaries and the limitations that we exist within. And with Saturn stationing retrograde in a square to Mercury, this is also going to probably be bringing up themes of how we are boxing ourselves in because of the constraints of our own mind, like what mental limitations are preventing our own forward progress. Those are things that are likely to be coming up in the Saturn retrograde period. Saturn retrograde also can sometimes have a tendency to like loosen boundaries and restrictions and rules in one way or another because, Saturn rules these things. And when Saturn is going retrograde, sometimes they can sort of relax a little bit. Actually, sometimes because, just the switch in the Saturn energy, sometimes this can actually make us feel like a little bit like out of control or just like unstructured, I guess you could say, in one type of way or another, leading to a kind of maybe like a little bit of sense of like disorientation or sort of like not knowing what to do with ourselves. A little bit of lack of self-discipline can also come through in this energy. But again, this is like a testing period and it's a period of reflection, revision, and like reworking things as well. Saturn rules work. And also, like I said, in this square to Mercury, how are we limiting ourselves internally based on the thoughts, our own mental patterning that may be like holding us back or stifling our growth or stifling our progress in one way or another could definitely be coming up. And with Mercury in this square in the sign of Taurus, this could have to do with our perception of our own value, our worth, our talent, our potential, our gifts, that type of stuff as well. So that's really how I'm sort of seeing this Saturn retrograde energy that we have going on right now over the next couple of months. Just reworking things generally in Aquarius in regards to our goals and the progress for the future and like what we want our future to look like as we are going through this radical shift and transformation right now and really like rebirthing ourselves and creating a new reality for ourselves in a lot of circumstances, in a lot of ways. Like it's just a status check, a progress check, you guys, making sure that things are on track and going the way that they need to go. And any adjustments that we need to make to the final plan, we are likely to encounter over this period of time. So there's the Saturn retrograde in square to Mercury. Let's talk about the moon aspects that we have going on Saturday, this very Saturn-y Saturday, in conjunction to Saturn retrograde. We are going to have a Leo moon. The moon will definitely have moved into Leo by the time we get into Saturday, and that moon in Leo is going to be forming, well, first it will form a trine to Jupiter overnight though, I think, and then it will form a trine to Mars in the early part of the day. It's also going to be forming a square to both Venus and Uranus in the sign of Taurus. So we got fire sign trine going on, moon in Leo, trining Mars, and fixed sign square, moon in Leo and square to Venus and Uranus, Venus first, and then Uranus in the sign of Taurus. This could be a very fiery, passionate day. The moon in Leo and trine to Mars in Aries. This could make us, this is high energy, inspired creative energy, passionate energy to really take some type of action in one way or another. And this is probably going to be along the lines of really like expressing what we have inside of our heart, like really expressing ourselves in one way or another, or feeling like a sense of freedom to really embody this new authentic truth that we're identifying right now with the moon in Leo. This is very much an energy that is driven by our passions and our loves and our loyalties and like our personal creative authentic self-expression, like our self-expression generally. And Mars in Aries, this is very much about the self. This actually could be like sort of a more ego-oriented day. People might actually be acting a little bit selfish in this energy on Saturday and maybe just like a lot more focused on their personal desires. But it is like highly creative, highly passionate, highly inspired. Personal awakenings could also be coming through. We have the moon in Leo as well, forming the square to Venus in Taurus and also Uranus in Taurus. The moon squaring Venus, this is also a very highly creative energy, especially from the signs of Leo and Taurus. And then squaring Uranus, this could also be bringing some personal awakenings that could be causing some type of conflict, some type of relationship conflict or financial upset, partnership upset. There could also be a strong emphasis today in this energy on Saturday on what we want and what we desire, specifically like for ourselves. Strong desire for emotional freedom as well. And people could be feeling a bit rebellious today. People might be doing just like some spontaneously bizarre stuff with the moon squaring Uranus. People are generally going to be after like wanting to align with a sense of fun and freedom and just desire to like be who they are and be authentic in their expression. And again, this could be a more egoistic type of day. People might be being a little bit more selfish just because of this Mars trine that we have going on. It could also be bringing up, people could be a little bit more like competitive or like just aggressive in this energy as well. But we also have Uranus right now, which will be in square to the moon on Saturday at an interesting degree. The Sabian 17 degrees of Taurus. That Sabian symbol is the symbolic battle between swords and torches. And I really view this as like a spiritual battle that is sort of like ongoing within all of us while Uranus is at this degree, which is interesting because it also corresponds to this very strong black moon cycle that we're in right now, and a period of time where I really feel like we are gaining the strength to sort of transmute our lower selves and like come to a place of elevated vibration within us that helps us to gain some self-knowledge and some self-awareness and come to a stronger place of self-mastery, which is all the ultimate trajectory of pretty much everything right now as we are in this shift of ages heading towards the age of Aquarius. So again, like in this energy that we have for Saturday with Saturn stationing retrograde and the square to Mercury, all of these same themes that I talked about from the Mercury-Saturn square, but also, bringing up these Leo moon themes, this very strong, passionate, like igniting our heart in one way or another to really go after what we want and what we desire to maybe just a stronger extent than maybe we normally would have. Just a very strong focused energy on our personal needs, personal wants, personal ambitions, personal desires. You might notice in people in the energy on Saturday. Now let's move on and talk about the energy for Sunday, you guys. Sunday, June 5th. This is the day where we have the moon moving into the later degrees, the 20-degree range of the sign of Leo, setting up a T-square with Saturn, who's just gone retrograde, Mercury, who's just stationed direct, who are both in a square to each other in fixed signs. So we have a fixed sign T-square setting up today between both the major player planets that have been doing the most this weekend, and also the moon in Leo coming to opposition with Saturn and square to Mercury, making this T-square with Mercury at the, I can't think of the word that it's called right now, but the place that is connecting the two oppositions. So we'll call it that. But anyways, also though, the moon in Leo on Sunday is also going to be squaring the nodes of the moon, the north and the south nodes of the moon, and Taurus and Scorpio. You got lots of fixed sign energy going on Sunday. This is going to happen before we set up the T-square. We got two T-squares playing out. We got a T-square in fixed signs via the north and the south node and the moon in Leo. And then we got another fixed sign T-square playing out between Saturn in Aquarius, the moon in Leo, and Mercury in Taurus. So this could be sort of like a crossroads day that we might feel going on. We may feel things are sort of building to a climax in one way or another, like something's got to give type of energy. With the T-square to the nodes happening first, because the nodes are a few degrees right now in the sky. They're at 22, Taurus and Scorpio, and we have Mercury and Saturn at 25 and 26, Aquarius and Taurus. So this is happening first, the T-square with the nodes. This may be bringing up a desire to follow our heart and have fun in life. Just figure out how we can do that, how we can live our life in a way that is more conducive to our personal happiness and our ability to have fun. And we may feel a bit at a crossroads in this energy, and like there are some very difficult choices and decisions that we are coming to, or that are coming up, or that we're getting ready to feel like we need to make at this point in time. This could also indicate some more fated happenings, ongoings, occurrences in the air on Sunday. Things might be like conflicts, or uncomfortable stuff might be happening that actually causes other things to happen that are helpful to our forward progress in one way or another. Could be happening with this T-square between the sun or between the moon in Leo and the north and the south nodes. The north and south nodes in Taurus and Scorpio, this is like a karmic detox, this polarity that they're in right now. We're really detaching ourselves from the toxic attachments of the past so that we can move forward along a path of growth based on our true authentic creative potential and our ability to tap that and utilize it to create something physical, tangible in the world that can satisfy us materially or financially in one way or another. The Taurus and Scorpio themes. And then we're talking about the moon in Leo. Again, this is aligning with our personal creative self-expression and what we truly love, really truly love in a very heart-based centered way, and what we're loyal to and what we're protective over, and what we really care about, and also our desire to have fun and to just generally celebrate and enjoy life. Up against this Taurus Scorpio polarity. So as I said, this desire to really free ourselves from being caught in a scenario that prevents us from being able to live our lives in a way where we are free to have fun and to express this joy and this creativity and just experience the joy that can come from that genuinely from a very heart-based place. And then we also have this T-square going on with the moon opposing Saturn and squaring Mercury, both stationed in the sky. Actually, I think Mercury starts to technically move forward on Sunday, but this is another sort of tricky scenario that we could be dealing with and we could be feeling. It really is emphasizing yet again the same theme that I've been talking about in the Friday and Saturday energetics as well, and all last week as well, with Mercury in the square to Saturn. And it could be, parents, bosses, authority, rule makers, regulators interfering with or holding us back from our ability to express ourselves in one way or another, or our own inner critic or our own being overly judgmental and stuff, keeping us from being able to express ourselves, which could be causing a state of depression or pessimism or lack of belief in ourselves and our ability to persevere and move forward in a way that really opens us to follow the authentic truth of our heart. What we are passionate about and saying in this energy could also be creating conflict with authority. Because remember, we're talking about the messenger planet, like information, communication, conversation, ideas, what we're learning, what we're hearing, what we're talking about. We're talking about the moon, which is our emotions and our internal environment. And then we're talking about Saturn, like discipline, structure, limitation, lessons, karma, time. And so when we like sort of combine all of these themes and they're all in harsh aspects to each other, it could be like, you know, this Leo moon, like what we are feeling passionately about and what brings us joy and what brings us happiness, like not being able to say that. Mercury in the square to that, like not being able to communicate it or express it because of some type of perhaps like fear from authority or repercussion or consequence that might come as a result of like authority or bosses or rules or regulations and stuff like that. Also, this could be that like difficult news or information that is sort of like putting our fire out in one way or another, like this, these harsher truths or this more Saturn, like difficult or challenging news or information, Mercury, that is creating conflict with our emotional joy and our ability to experience pleasure and like celebrate life and stuff like that, like sort of raining on our parade or dwindling our light or passion in some type of way because of like some criticism that we're receiving or some harsh judgment or some, like I said, again, like some more difficult news or messages or information or conversations that we're having. This could also be delays or misunderstandings in communications that are impacting romance or creativity or fun or play or joy or celebration or pride. If you've got like some type of big party or something planned for Sunday, like this is the type of thing where like some type of error in the invitation or something like that, or something like some type of traffic jam or something could like prevent people from getting where they need to be at the right period of time. That could sort of like, you know, mess up the occasion or something. Not saying that that is going to happen, but that is just like the type of thing that could happen when we have these specific planets and these specific signs making 90-degree aspects to each other. This could also be sort of feeling bad about ourselves or uninspired, like this pessimistic attitude, this narrow-minded negative outlook that can come sometimes from Saturn and square to Mercury, really like diminishing like our emotional, like bringing conflict with our ability to feel and express joy at this period of time could be coming like that as well. And also displays of emotion, the moon in Leo, like true heartfelt expression and displays of emotion in this energy could also be like very harshly criticized as well. And that may be why we're feeling a need to sort of like keep a lid on it and hold ourselves back, not say really what's on our mind too much, because we might be like feeling or sensing or picking up this weekend that, you know, maybe these big overblown emotional expressions may not be our best option, and maybe we sort of need to wait for these emotions to pass and like think it through before we like act on that type of expression. That may be something that is just like organically like an experience that is going on this weekend as well. And we do also have the Earth at 15 degrees of Sagittarius on Sunday. That Sabian symbol is a groundhog looking for its shadow on Groundhog's Day. So in this energy Sunday as well, we also may feel like we're like chasing our tail a little bit, like we're like going round and round in circles and nothing is happening or nothing is changing or nothing is coming of it. And maybe this is also pushing us to this point where we feel like we need to perhaps make some type of drastic change at this point in time if we want to like free ourselves to truly be happy and to be able to like express ourselves in our life. Again, coming back to Saturn going retrograde in a square to Mercury, this is really bringing, again, these karmic choices and karmic decisions that can really impact the trajectory of our future in one way or another. And with the moon and Leo also forming the square of the North and South Node today, as I was saying before, you know, feeling like we maybe are stuck in a scenario that is keeping us out of the expression of our own joy, and knowing that we need to make maybe a difficult choice in order to free ourselves to move in a direction where we can live a life in alignment with what is truly authentic and resonates with us on that like heart-based, soul-based level, and really makes us feel alive and brings that sense of joy back into our life. Ultimately, a heart-based alignment motivating breakthroughs is how I'm reading the energy for all weekend really, but specifically for Sunday with the moon in Leo coming into this square. I mean, squares ultimately are for the purpose of helping us break through on something. We got 2 T-squares set up on Sunday with Mars and Saturn, the primary planets we're looking at all weekend, both involved, and also the nodes of the moon. Again, this is destiny and karma, and we're dealing with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, now going retrograde. Very karmic time right now, you guys. But these heart-based alignments, this heart-based alignment, the moon in Leo, that is motivating these breakthroughs as well this weekend. So that's what I have to say, you guys, for the energy that we have coming at us over the course of this weekend. Mercury direct, Saturn retrograde. Again, this Mercury direct, I don't think we're really going to start feeling it until Mercury re-enters Gemini, which will be the 13th, the day before our full moon in Sagittarius. So just in time for that. But, yeah, these next 4.5 months are a process of reworking our goals for the future, essentially. So that's where we're at, you guys. Let's draw a synchronicity card for the weekend. Not doing tarot today because I've already been talking for such a long time, and we've talked about 3 days. So let's just get one little message that can give us some guidance as we are going through the weekend. And this one's folding over, so I'm going to take it. It says a blessing in disguise. That's right. And we do have Uranus square to the moon activated this weekend as well. Uranus brings blessings in disguises. Blessings in disguise. Okay, a blessing in disguise. And the Lord sent thunder and rain that day. 1 Samuel 12:18. Thunder and lightning can be frightening and give us a scare, but it is followed by a blessed rain. You are divinely guided and blessings follow. So that's what we need to keep in mind as we're navigating this energy this weekend, you guys. You know, it could be a little bit critical out there. We need to not like take other people's like stuff too personally. You know, if there is some constructive criticism that we could genuinely take to help us in our process and our progress at this point in time, we should. But we should be able to differentiate between other people's projections and just negative energy and like genuinely valid like attempts to help our progress and growth. And the things that are transpiring are blessings in disguise, you guys. So that is the message, you guys, for this weekend. The message from the stars, synchronicity card. I hope you liked it. I hope I was able to provide something for you that can give you a little bit of whatever you need as you are navigating your path this weekend. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. If you did like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Share it with your friends if you think that they would be interested in like this too. Leave me comments, you guys. You are all my favorite. I love you so much. Thank you so much for your comments. I like genuinely appreciate you and your support so much. So grateful for you. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social media stuff. Those are in my description box below. And come back with me on Monday, you guys. We're going to have another week of astrology to talk about as we are now making our way through this new moon in Gemini cycle heading towards our full moon in Sag. So I will be here. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. And I will see you then. Bye, guys.